Hello again, thank you for being here in another lazy show where we teach you AutoCAD in a way that it's more productive so you can stop wasting your time, right? As always, we show up here each Sunday at 10 a.m. to again save you a little bit of time. So we're gonna start reading some of your comments before we start our presentation for today. But first, let me welcome our new Patreon. Our new Patreon is Brian Elson. Thank you, Brian, for believing on what we do, right? Which is again trying to save you a little bit of time using or working in AutoCAD. So, since you are new, you now have all of these benefits, which is access to our macro commands, to our any material that we use to create our videos, such as AutoCAD test, exercises, and so on, even to our dynamic blocks. We have 22 so far that we created in this channel. So all of those materials will be there for you to download. All right, Brian. And again, thank you to all of you guys who are on my screen for believing on what we do, right? Thank you very much. All right, so let me now go ahead and start reading some of your comments before we start today's presentation, which is going to be great. We're going to be creating an awesome command here in AutoCAD so it can save us a little bit of time, right? So let me go to the chat, and our friend Duke says, Happy 4th of July to my Americans compatriots. Good morning, good afternoon to my across the pond friends. Happy July 4th, Douglas. Thank you for being here with us. I know some people are already enjoying this 4th of July, right, from today. But I still wanted to show up today because I know some of you guys will still want a live stream, right? So that's why I didn't stop today. Duke says, good morning, Irving, no sound. All right. So I think we already figured that out. So thank you for letting me know, Duke. Douglas says, welcome, Brian. Yeah, Duke. So Brian just became a patron. Very happy for that there are more folks that are finding our Patreon page useful, right? Yeah, right. So I think before we start, I have a new how can I call this? A new section that I want to introduce to the live streams, right? So this section, I call this the lazy answer. Yeah, so I'm trying, here and there to try to bring something new to the live streams that we do each Sunday. We've been doing it for so long now, I think probably a year or more. But I had this idea where I'm gonna pick one question from any of you guys, and I'm gonna answer it on the live streams, right? Of course, if this comment or question is it's like a complex question, then I might do a live stream, an entire live stream to answer it. But this lazy answer section, I would like to find a comment or a question that is quick, and so I can answer it live, right? So, for instance, before we start, we have a comment on the chat. Is Felicia says, good morning, lazy Arquitecto, bendiciones. Good morning, Felicia. Thank you for being here. Gracias por estar aquí. I know you speak Spanish. Sé que hablas español. We have 7 people connected live. That's great. Very excited because more and more people are finding our live streams. Thank you, Felicia. And again, let's go back to this new section, the lazy answer. again, this is brand new. I'm trying to implement it on our live streams to see if you guys enjoy it. So for today, question or comment that I'm gonna pick that I found very interesting was this one right here. So this comment or question says, are you teaching or fooling? So found this interesting because this comment was on our YouTube shorts over here, and where I show up smiling and having a good time. So I wanted to answer to this comment again really quick because so the way I like to teach here, right, is not only be able to educate or teach, but also try to entertain you, right? So that's why we do these live streams. Otherwise, I'll do a regular recorded video where I can just teach you or explain you step by step how to do something in AutoCAD. But I wanted more than that. So I wanted to create these live streams, give you kind of an entertainment, right? Education, but with entertainment. So yeah, because that's for me a better way to connect with you, to kind of relate with you and show you that I have the same struggles that you might be having in AutoCAD, right? So that's my answer for this lazy answer section. And again, I'm gonna start picking comments or questions for these sections of our live streams. So let's go now and let's start our presentation for today. And let me go over here and start getting ready. All right, so let's see. As always, we have another comment on the chat. So our friend Duke says, I just noticed the basement is there over your left shoulder. Did your wife exile you to the basement? That's a good question, Duke. But the answer is no. I was always here in the basement. Duke, I just changed the position of my camera, right? Before I had the camera in this position looking at this way, but now I kind of moved it in the front. So, you know, trying to improve the live streams, getting maybe a better angle. So that's why I did it, my friend Duke. All right. So as always, you can interrupt me or stop me at any time during my presentation, because again, I want to make this very interactive, right? You can ask me questions or maybe, you know, give your opinion on what we're doing. So let's start. Okay. So what we're gonna create today is a command, a tool that I believe we need it, right? For instance, the reason why we need this tool is because let's say I want to edit all of my text in this drawing, and to quickly edit my text and maybe change it to a different layer, I could go ahead and isolate my text, right? You know, with the lay ISO command, right? We all know about the lay ISO. So we can quickly isolate a piece of text or layer, and we will be able to have our text isolated, and this way we could go ahead and change to our preferred layer, right? Let's say a room name. Let's do that, and let's quickly isolate our objects. Now you see immediately that we have a problem here because there are still some pieces of text that weren't changed. So that might be because they were on a different layer and so on. So you can see immediately the problem of simply using the regular lay ISO command to quickly edit our text. So that's why we need this command. So let me undo really quick with Control Z. So, and this command, what it does, it's called the lazy text ISO, and it's basically a way to quickly isolate all of our text in our drawing regarding if they are in different layers. So let's quickly test it. So let's click on it and boom. So now we can quickly edit our text, for instance, changing to a different layer. So that way we can unisolate it and isolate. So this way we can have more flexibility of having or editing all our text like so, right? Now the beauty of this command is that it will work for mtext as well as text. So you can see we have an mtext over here, and then we also will have a regular text right here. So that's the beauty of this command. It's very handy. I use it all the time, and today we're gonna learn how to create this command so we can isolate all our text at once, right? So let me show you how we can do this. So far, do you have any questions? Just put it in the chat and I'll be able to read it. So let me know if you have a question so far. Do you agree that we need this command to quickly edit our annotations or text? What do you think? All right, if there are no questions, let's keep moving. All right, so let me quickly undo to start fresh. All right. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna erase this command so we can start fresh. And we're gonna use, of course, our tool palette. If you don't see it on your screen, you can open it with Control-3. That's the shortcut to open our tool palette. And what we're gonna do is simply add a piece of text or mtext and go ahead and drag it to our tool palette like so. All right, so over here, what we can do is, but before I have a comment on the chat. Let's see. Douglas says, will this create a layer or change text to an existing layer? Create a layer. No, Doug, this will isolate all of your text in your drawing. If you want to create a layer, we have another command, right? We created it, I think, a couple of weeks ago to how to insert or bring all of your layers in your drawing. If that's what you need, you can go ahead and check that later. But this is to isolate all of your text in your drawing. There is no such a command in Autocad that can do that. That's why we're creating this tool really quick, right? So thank you for your question, Duke, and let's keep moving. So over here, what we can do is after we added our text, we can right click and say properties. Once we open the properties, we can see, let me arrange this first. We can see that there is an option to rename our command, and I'm gonna rename it. I'm gonna call this the lazy text ISO of isolate. And over here, we can start changing or tweaking our command string, right? So the way I'm gonna start is with the CC, because this is a nice way to cancel or stop any running or active command. All right, so once I have that, what I can do is use a express tool in Autocad called SSX, right? This express tool, it's a nice way to filter or create selections, and I will follow it by a semicolon. So this way it's like a way to press enter on your keyboard, right? And next, this express tool or command will ask us to select objects, right? We will say none because we don't want to select any objects at this stage. Next, it will ask us to filter an option, right? Or a filter option, and we will say E for entity. All right, pressing an enter, of course. What the entity that we want to select in this case or filter would be the mtext, right? Because that's a piece of text in AutoCAD, of course, following by the enter. And then what we can do here is isolate or use the isolate command in AutoCAD to again isolate this previous selection using the P shortcut for previous, right? So once we do that, we can accept all of those steps using again a couple of enters. So let's quickly test this to see if there are any issues with the code. Again, we're doing this live, so let's click OK and let's test it, right? So far, let's click on it, and boom, we can see that our text was quickly isolated. So to finish the test, let's change layers to see if indeed we didn't miss anything. So a room name, let's change that, and to unisolated, we can simply say unisolate, right? And as you can see, we have a problem here. And the problem is that we didn't isolate the command didn't isolate this piece of text over here. Why? Well, if we open our property palette, right, we can select this piece of text and we can see that this item is an mtext. However, if we select this other piece of information, this item is not an mtext, it's simply a text. So that's why we still need to tweak our command to include not only mtext, but also text. So let's do that, and let's quickly go ahead and right click on our new command and go into properties. We can add this entity called text by simply using a comma, and then we can add this entity called text. So this way, when we click OK and test our new command, so let's quickly test it, we can see that immediately we can isolate all of our entities regarding if they are in different layers or if they are different items such as text or mtext. All right, so here you go, guys. What do you think about this new command that we just created it to make our life easier editing text or mtext in AutoCAD? So let me jump to the chat now to quickly see what do you guys think about this tool. And so while you let me know that on the chat, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add or post this command to our Patreon page before I forget. All right, so I'm gonna give you a couple of seconds to let me know what do you think about this tool, right? So I'm gonna quickly post this onto my Patreon page before I forget, for Brienne, the new patron, and all of our patrons, so they can quickly copy and paste, right, their command. I'm gonna okay. What do you think, guys, so far? Let me know your thoughts. Would you be using this command, this tool in AutoCAD? Let's see, we have a comment on the chat. Our friend Duke says, so I could, if I wanted, add to the command string to select all, change properties, layer or LA, layer name, etc. Just Duke, you could also do that. So you could start adding more or extra commands to this macro string, and that way you can even customize this tool per your needs, right? Everyone's have a specific way of working, a specific needs, but so far this command will isolate all of your text in AutoCAD. So you wanted to edit it and change some properties, changing some layers, and yes, you could also do that, my friend Duke. By the way, if you are interested, Duke, you can send me an email with this comment and maybe be more specific, and then I might be able to pick your comment or question for a lazy question show, right? That means I can do an entire live stream to help you create that tool or create that command. So yeah, Duke, thank you for your comment. So let me finish posting this before I forget in our Patreon page. So far, do you guys have any questions before we wrap up today's live stream? Let me know. We are 5 people connected live. That's great. That's awesome that you are still here with me, even though some people are already enjoying July 4th. So yeah, let's see. Okay. Our friend Duke has another question. I want to create a tool palette with all your macros. Where are they stored for me to group them and add them all to a palette? That's such a great question, Duke. So you are asking to create a tool palette with all of your macros. Where are they stored for me to group them? So Duke, I think I have an entire video about that. So let me go ahead and find it for you right now. Let's see. Let me go to, let's see, palette. Here we go, Duke. That's the video that you need. It's all hidden tricks for tool palettes. And here is where we show you how to add commands to the tool palette, how you can export your tool palette, import them, and do all kind of stuff with your tool palette. So that's what you need, my friend Duke. And of course, if you have questions, you can just put it in the comments, and then I'll be able to quickly help you, right? So yeah, Duke says I can't spell this morning. Perfect. Yeah, so let me see if there are more questions before we wrap up today's live stream. It was quick, short, but I believe we created this useful command to quickly isolate all of your text in AutoCAD, and hopefully it can save you a little bit of time, right? I use this tool every day at the office, at the architecture office where I work. So yeah, let's see. All right, guys. So if there are no more questions, we're gonna stop right here, and kind of start thinking about the next live stream, right? For next Sunday. We have a comment on the chat. It says, Francis, important tricks for intermediate. Francis, I think you're new to the live stream, Francis. If that's true, welcome aboard. You can join us each Sunday at 10 a.m. with these live streams, right? We kind of do all type of stuff like creating commands, creating blogs, sharing tips and tricks, basically anything that I can share to help you save a little bit of time, and that's what I'll be sharing here. Francis, so you're a little bit late. We're about to wrap in this live stream, but hopefully you can join us next Sunday, right, at 10 a.m. Says Douglas, enjoy the week, everyone. You too, my friend, and happy July 4th, Doug. Francis says, yeah, I'm new to your live streams. Yeah, happy to have you, Francis. That means more and more folks are finding our live streams, right? Either YouTube is recommending it to more people, or Facebook. We are also now on LinkedIn. So we are on those 3 platforms doing this live stream. So yeah, that's great. All right, guys. So I'll stop here and I'll see you next Sunday at 10 a.m.